All right, let's talk about something that trips up so many people in project management, the business case. We're going to follow an apprentice, Jody, as she figures out how to master this thing, which if you're on the Associate Project Manager apprenticeship, you'll know as K9. Let's break it down together.
So here's what we're going to cover. We'll kick things off with Jody's quest to figure out what a business case even is. Then I've got a really simple way for you to remember it, the project's passport. We'll see how this all works in a real-world setting, how you can prove you've got this skill for your portfolio, and finally, how to absolutely nail those tough questions in your final assessment.
So this is Jody. She's an apprentice project manager at a place called IBIS Stores, and her coach just told her she needs to evidence K9. She just nodded, but inside, total panic. I mean, if you've ever been in a meeting, smiling and nodding while secretly Googling a term under the table, you know exactly how Jody feels right now. Okay, so Jody's quest kicks off with her mentor, Adam. He can see she's confused and just cuts right through all that jargon. He tells her, look, K9 is just the official code for one simple thing, getting your head around the business case, what it's for, what's in it, and why it's so powerful. Adam explains that a business case really just boils down to answering one simple but massive question: why? Not what are we doing or how are we going to do it, but why are we doing this at all? It's the fundamental reason, the justification for every single penny and every single hour that's about to be spent. And you can think of what's inside a business case as the pillars holding up the entire project, right? You've got the problem you're trying to solve, the good stuff you hope to get out of it, the benefits, what it's going to cost, and of course, all the things that could go wrong. Without these, your project is just a bunch of random tasks with no real point.
Now, Adam is smart. He knows that just listing things out is a surefire way to forget them, especially when you're under pressure. So he gives Jody this brilliant analogy, something she can use to make sense of the business case for her entire career.
He says, Jody, think of your project like it's going on a big international trip. For that journey, the business case, that's its passport. It's the one single document that proves your project has a legitimate destination and the official green light to actually go there. And this just makes it all click, doesn't it? The destination on the passport? Well, those are the benefits your project is aiming for. Your itinerary? That's your project plan and your timeline. The luggage you're packing? That's all your costs and resources. And those really important visa checks you have to go through at every border? Yup, those are your governance meetings and approval stages, where everyone checks your passport to make sure the trip is still on track and still worth it. Okay, so theory is great, but putting it into practice is where the real learning happens. Jody's line manager, Riedel, knows this. So she decides it's time to take this new passport idea and see if it floats in the real world. Rital throws Jody a classic project manager curveball, a change request. The marketing team has a cool new idea for the project. And yeah, it sounds great, but Rital knows you can't run projects on sounds great. You run them on evidence. So she tasks Jody with formally assessing this new idea using that business case. So what does she do now? I mean, she can't just say, yeah, sounds cool, let's do it, right? Every single decision needs to be justified. She needs a solid process to figure out what this change really means for the project. And this is where the passport analogy becomes her guide. First, she pulls out the project's passport, the business case, to remind herself of the original destination. Then she assesses the impact. Does this new idea get us to our destination faster? Or does it add way too much heavy luggage in terms of cost? Does it introduce new travel advisories, new risks? It's only after she's answered those questions that she can give a formal recommendation that's based on facts, not feelings. So Jody's feeling pretty good. She gets the theory, she's even used it in practice. But her journey's not quite over yet. Her apprenticeship coach, Olivia, brings her back to earth. She reminds Jody that for her portfolio on the APTEM system, just knowing it isn't enough. She has to prove it. Now this right here is absolute gold for any apprentice. This table shows you exactly how to turn your day-to-day work into knockout evidence for your portfolio. Look at what Jody did. She didn't just upload a status report, she marked it up to show how a specific task linked directly to a project benefit. That change request? Perfect evidence of her using the business case to make a decision. And a reflection wasn't just a diary entry, it was a focused piece explaining how the business case shaped her thinking. Olivia really drives this home. She explains that assessors aren't there to trick you. They just want to see that you've connected the dots. Can you show that the business case wasn't just a document you read once, but something you actively used to manage the project? Did it actually influence your decisions on risks, changes, and reporting? That's what they're looking for.
All right, time for the final challenge, the endpoint assessment, the EPA. Olivia knows this professional discussion can be super stressful, so she preps Jody by running through some of the typical questions an assessor is going to ask about K9 and the business case. So here's a classic opener. The assessor wants to know the what and the how. Take a second. How would you answer that? Okay, now let's check out how Jody uses that passport analogy to build an amazing response. See how good that is? It's memorable, it's clear, and it shows she really gets it on a deep level. She nails the purpose, it's the passport, and she gives a specific, measurable benefit as the destination. And crucially, she explains how it was used at every one of those Visa check governance gates. That is a top-tier answer.
Next up, they want a real example. This is where that task from Riedel becomes Jody's superpower. She can talk with total confidence about the video ad request and explain step-by-step how she checked its impact on the benefits, the costs, and the risks, all tying back to the evidence she's already got in her portfolio.
Ooh, this is a tricky one. It's a test of your critical thinking. A business case isn't written in stone, right? The assessor wants to know you understand that it's a living document. A great answer here would be to pick out a key assumption from your project, explain how the real world threw a wrench in it, and then describe exactly what you and your team did to adapt.
So, Jody's quest really shows us that mastering K9 isn't just about ticking a box or passing a test. It's about learning to be the protector, the guardian of your project's value. The business case is your project's origin story, its North Star. It's the constant answer to the question, why? So as you go forward, the real question isn't just what your project is, but how will you tell its story?